Your brother, your friend, your dietitian, back again for another installment. Inspirit Nutrition. Books that have changed my life. Whatever it takes. Canada's quest to change Harlem and America. Let's get it popping. So, first off, I want to say peace and blessings to everybody out there in the world, YouTube world. Let's talk literature. Let's talk inspiration. Let's talk social entrepreneurship. Jeffrey Canada is a brother who started and who's the current CEO of Harlem's Children's Zone. Harlem's Children's Zone is a zone or area that is in Harlem, obviously, and it incorporates a very at-risk, disadvantaged area and population, but it provides programs like after-school programs, educational programs, extracurricular programs, early childhood development programs, parenting classes. It's just a entirely comprehensive tutoring, pre-college preparation, in-college preparation, and it's just a total package. It's a non-profit founded by this brother named Jeffrey Canada. I don't even remember how I came across it. I think I was studying social entrepreneurship. That's something that I'm interested in. Social entrepreneurship is basically using the creativity of entrepreneurship in the social realm and the sociological manner in order to improve society, improve some type of metric, some type of well-being measure that citizens deal with. So it could be health, it could be education, it could be dropout rates, it could be whatever. Basically, there's this crazy tough part of Harlem that Jeffrey Canada was working in, and he basically was trying to figure out how to change the lives of these Harlem residents. The author of the book, Paul Tuff, goes into the Harlem Children's Zone, which is like a 90 block radius, 90 block perimeter or something like that, out in Harlem, and he goes and interviews some of the participants in different programs that Harlem Children's Zone has, and he kind of embeds himself in the nonprofit, the culture, and discovers what makes it tick and discovers the benefits. So basically, Harlem Children's Zone started with Jeffrey Canada trying to improve the state of Harlem. Harlem Children's Zone has been recognized by Barack Obama. It's been recognized in the documentary called Waiting for Superman. Jeffrey Canada basically states that he realized, growing up, he thought that Superman was coming. Someone was coming to help with all the poverty, help with all the drug abuse, help with the prostitution, the gangbanging, the violence in his community. And when he got older, he realized and learned that Superman was actually a myth, and that he was waiting on Superman, but Superman wasn't coming. And so as a youth, he actually cried. He bawled and cried and broke down because he realized that how tormenting and how torturous and how difficult his living situation was, and the living situation of others was at the time. And it made him cry because he realized no one was coming to save them. This was just a reality that they had to deal with. And so when he became a man, he went to college, went to grad school. He went to grad school shortly after college and grad school, shortly after affirmative action, shortly after Roe versus Wade, etc. In the 60s, where this was the first chance where a lot of black people, so-called black people, were given the chance to go to college and they can get a pristine higher education without facing as much barriers, racism, etc. So he did well in high school, went to college, but eventually he started an organization to where he wanted to improve those metrics, those life, measurements that I talked about previously: dropout, teen pregnancy rate, homicide rate, violence in the community, etc. He started off with doing a charter school, or was it after school program? It's after school program, or like a couple grade, 2-grade charter school or something like that. But he realized that the students would do well when they were within the charter school, but they still had to deal with violence on the way home. They still had to deal with gang banging on the way home. They still had to deal with fighting in the household. They still had to deal with after they graduate from the 2-year charter school, their scores dropped when they went to the other schools. In addition to that, they didn't have tutoring or help at home. And so what he realized was that he needed to create a comprehensive, from birth until college, walk-through support system. And so that became the birth of the Harlem Children's Zone. And so he has programs set up basically to where teens, at-risk teens, teen pregnancies, teen moms, teen parents, they actually get into the program, and their children, their infants, are in the early childhood development program, where the parents learn about breastfeeding, learn about language development, learn about everything pertaining to early childhood development and infancy. Then they get into a preschool. From the preschool, they go to kindergarten. From the kindergarten, they go to the elementary school. From the elementary school, they go on all the way up to 12th grade. But there's after-school programs. There's tutoring. There's music. There's track. There's karate. There's so many different things. College preparation. So many different things to catch them from falling into that. It's a safety net. And there's so many different safety nets to catch them from falling off or falling down. This Harlem Children's Zone developed over the years. It started off in a tiny little circumference, tiny little perimeter, and it expanded over the years, and it's been supported by millionaires. The efficacy of it is proven. He really did something amazing, because every year now, he's sending off like somewhere close to like 100 early college students, and they're graduating with good grades, and they're having the support system every year out of Harlem. So his thinking is, in 5 years, you have people coming back. You have 100 college-educated people coming back to their community to improve the community, right? In 10 years or in 8 years, you'll have 200 people that have come back, and then you have, or excuse me, not 8 years, because every year there's going to be a graduating class, so it's going to be even more. So within the first 4 years after that first graduating class graduates, there's 100 people that's coming back. But then the 5th year is going to be another 100. 6th year, every year there's going to be 100 college graduates that are hopefully coming back to their community to build up Harlem, to build up that part of Harlem where they came from. So he has an excellent strategy, and it's really mind-blowing. And it's limited to people that are in the area, but it's not limited to any race or socioeconomic status. It's just limited to a lottery system based off of who lives in the area. So Jeffrey Canada, he really has changed the game. And if his model was applied in other parts of the country, a lot of things would change in terms of education, job security, and things like that. Violence would decrease, homicides would decrease. The homicide rates have decreased, the violent crimes have decreased in the area where he is, where the Harlem Children's Zone is, but there are still children losing their lives to senseless violence in the Harlem Children's Zone because it's so dangerous there. This book changed my life because it showed me a cool aspect of social entrepreneurship, showed me a cool model of social entrepreneurship and how it could work. He really put a lot of pressure on a lot of the teachers, administrators, and he fires people quickly that aren't putting in the work necessary to achieve the goals and objectives of the organization. I would look up Jeffrey Canada, whatever it takes, how he's changing Harlem and America, and consequently the world. Your brother, your friend, your dietitian, back again for another installment. Books that have changed my life series. Inspirit Nutrition. Peace.